Dear me. Yay. I love when it just randomly decides to mess things up. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? Yeah.
I can hear
me
you now.
Irish? Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Irish. I appreciate you. Well, guys, we are fixing to play our fantasy role-playing game, Pathfinder 2e, Homebrew. Homebrew means that this is not like a published adventure. It's just something we're making up on the fly. And we're calling it Vigils, Remnant. Irish said she's not, she can't sleep, so she's just here to watch.
Nice. I'm happy she's here.
We miss you, Irish.
I'm gonna get on the. Rob's like, I miss you. I would if I knew you.
Right?
Well,
Pour out this Mountain Dew Sweet Lightning for the homie.
I miss you. We had a healer.
Hey, watch it.
To be fair, he didn't know you're a healer. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started here. I just would like for everybody to introduce themselves, introduce your character, give us, like, I don't know, a sentence or two about them. And then I think the final thing you can do, our question for tonight is going to be if... Oh, okay, here we go. I think I've asked you guys, like, what fantasy world you'd be transported to before, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've asked you that one before. Okay, so then here's a... Fuck it. I can't think of anything.
I got one.
Okay, go ahead. What's the question?
Which Pokemon would you eat? If given the opportunity.
God, I don't know any Pokemon.
That's an easy one.
Given the opportunity, which Pokemon would you all eat? There's the question. If you don't know one, just make one up. That'll be good too. There's a literal cow Pokemon, so you're probably good.
Miltank.
Yeah. You're probably good just going with Miltank.
There's one that's literally just a pile of eggs.
Oh yeah.
Execute.
Yeah. So anyway, decide. Tell you what, let's skip all of that. What's your favorite food?
If it's a Pokemon, that
And
makes
also
sense to hear
the
about it.
ethical questions whether they can speak and have thoughts, and should we be eating them?
What if you had to choose between saving 5 people about to get ran over by a train, or one person, but one of those 5 people you would save is a serial killer?
So,
And you don't know which one is the serial killer?
Our question for tonight is, what's your favorite food? Gonna go ahead and start. We'll go opposite. Actually, I'm gonna give Wade a minute because he is currently eating. So we'll start with Maj, working our way towards the right. Sound like a plan, y'all?
Shua.
Alrighty. Well, I am Jester. I'll be playing Maj Al Ward. He's a little rat folk, and he is rather smart and seems to be thinking he's a tank when he's not. Yeah, that is Maj. What was this? We going on of what our favorite food is?
Favorite food?
I have to say chicken and dumplings, but you got to do the drop dumplings.
Okay. Legit.
What is that? How else? I don't know what a drop dumpling is.
You roll it up as...
He absolutely is still getting KO'd.
Instead of cutting out your dough and throwing it in there, you just ball it up and toss it in there.
It's more German style.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up.
I didn't see the order. Like, 'cause you said starting with Maj and then going
Kitty cat.
Yeah, then we come back. You're gonna end us, bees.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because then it'll be so right that we have to go back to the beginning.
Wow. Hi, I'm Blizvekia. I play a little character called Vanya Piercer. She's a catfolk who, she hates dirty things, but she also likes to make messes. And she seems to get into a lot more trouble than she's able to handle.
Especially lately.
Yeah, no, especially, ooh boy.
Spicy meatball.
Yeah. And I enjoy a good old biscuits and gravy.
Oh,
that
that's
sounds
good.
Can't go wrong with a good biscuits and gravy.
Yep.
He says with a mouthful of biscuit.
All right. Next up.
Hi, I'm Rob, and I play Cranston Earlymorn, a stern and serious dwarf cleric who has seen the elephant, so to speak. As far as food goes, I probably have to just go with ribs that I've smoked myself, because I know how I like them.
Hey guys, I'm Rogue. I'm the writer of the dark fantasy RPG Demon Gate, and I'm also playing Asgrim the Pale, who is a human ranger. And my favorite food, for the longest time, it was raw oysters.
Ooh,
No shame there.
raw oysters are a good
Ugh.
one.
Gross.
It's
Alright.
like those have the potential to be like amazing, but if you have just like one bad experience with
Oh,
them, you're
yeah.
like
It's
ruined
over.
forever.
It's over.
It's just Russian roulette because like eventually you're gonna get one.
Yeah.
Next
The
up.
only way I like oysters are raw. Anyway else, it's just kind of.
Yeah.
I'm next.
Mhm.
Okay. Hi, I'm Agitated Max. I'll be playing the role of Dirge Hot Dish Dugan. Sorry, excuse me. What's my fucking thing? I'm a rogue who is a scoundrel rogue. Picture,
No, he's rogue.
yeah, a scoundrel rogue. Fuck you. Who is like if Lando Calrissian was from the Midwest. So,
All right.
And my favorite food has to be a good homemade gumbo. Like from start to finish, has to take 8 hours to make. You know, you're cooking it all day, but mwah. And then 3 days after it's made is when it's the best.
Right?
Once it's had time to like congeal and thicken up.
Yeah, that's so
Poured
good.
over
I love making
poured
gumbo.
over some rice. Oh, mwah. Les a bon temps roue, guys.
Last but not least.
I'm the Bees. I play Sir Hammond. He's a Knight of Ozum and Knight from Last Wall. Just a good guy who wants to do good stuff, and sometimes he makes some dumb mistakes and misses some things, but he's happy to make a new friend and this new holy person, dwarf friend of his.
Well met.
Yes, you too. He's just excited about it. And as far as food goes, I'm gonna be a Jigglypuff. Is probably what I would eat.
No, we're saying favorite food.
Nope, I know, I did.
Oh, okay.
You still would prefer to eat a Pokemon.
It's the fucking meme of this is my favorite food. It existed.
It's good for napping afterwards.
Well,
It's true.
my name is The Prankster, and I am your friendly neighborhood GM. And we are here to play Pathfinder 2E. So, without further ado, what do we
Wait, no. Favorite food.
Oh, thank you. I'm honestly, I'm pretty easy, man. Give me like a well marbled T-bone, medium rare steak cooked by my wife. She just cooks the best steak in the world, and god dang it, that and a baked potato. I'm a meat and potatoes man when it comes down to it.
Gordon Ramsay's coming to challenge her now that you've said she's the best cook in the world.
No.
Gordon Ramsay's gonna get fucked up.
And I'd go on record saying none of your choices are bad.
I know. I was thinking like all of your food sounds great except for the
Yeah,
Jigglypuff.
it's kind of funny.
Hey,
would
if
eat-
you make a little sashimi with that Jigglypuff, you're grand.
So,
I would eat meow, specifically the talking one,
all right.
the one that's sentient.
So
I just want to hear
Irish
him scream.
Irish asked me if my favorite food was Earl Grey ice cream. And the reason is because I found Earl Grey ice cream in our grocery aisle this week, and I thought, what the hell? I'll give this a try. It's probably not terrible. No, it's terrible. I still ate all of it because
it's ice cream.
It's ice cream.
Gross.
I love the
Gross.
texture and the coldness of ice cream, but I also kind of hated myself with every bite, as one should.
they have a ranch
when they
ice
eat
cream.
ice cream. That is disgusting.
Green tea ice cream is actually not bad.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I see where you were going with
it.
it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. So
Maybe
let's
it'll
jump
be
into this.
refreshing.
Or we'll just keep talking, which is fine.
Well,
I don't know. Do you guys just want to hang out and talk
There's
instead?
too many people. Too many people.
We got
Before we
this.
start, if you guys have not checked out the darkest episode of any game that we've ever played,
That's true.
you need to check out Curse of Strahd from Wednesday. Oh, that was dark.
I thought you were
That was
talking
pretty
about
dark.
last week whenever I told a kid his dad would come back if he believed in Gozra enough.
No.
Yeah, I got to the point in the video and I just shut it down because I was like, I can't. I don't wanna. I don't.
It's
I'm
bad.
gonna-
Yeah, it's bad. It was.
So what we're saying is challenge accepted.
challenge accepted. So let's
We're gonna make
recap
this even worse.
We're gonna be like kicking orphans and puppies and.
I don't think this crew could be worse.
Challenge accepted.
Until you leave a catfolk to murder a father.
Well, let's recap this motherfucker. Sound like a good idea, guys?
Yes.
All right. Things started with a dead body, and things quickly escalated from there with Blue's character not only being pointed out as the rightful murderer by the public, but also being escorted away towards fantasy jail, where one goes when one commits a fantasy murder. She was able to pretty much convince her entire group, with the exception of Maj, that she did not commit the murder. And they then went about trying to kind of figure out what the hell happened here. A new member of the group responded to the call, a new member in the tavern, who was actually here on a similar errand as Sir Hammond, which is to check out the other Knights of Ozin here. Ozum or Ozin? Ozum.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, he was also awoken in the middle of the night by the scream of Blusvekia by Vanya. He, as well as Maj, had a bit of a back and forth, but responded to the call as well. Long story short, they investigated the scene, did their best to ascertain what the heck actually happened. Behind the scenes, Dirge, who also responded to this, made absolutely certain he got away with the murder weapon in a crowd of people and then wheeled away on those goddamn Heelys I gave him.
Rust
Your
monster.
fault. You
Rust
did this
monster.
to me.
Rust
You
monster.
made me like this.
Hashtag GM mistakes.
They're the coolest thing I've ever had in a campaign. Like,
Dirge, yeah, they're pretty fun. I'm glad I gave them to you. They've been
really love them.
fun. So the next thing that ends up happening is Dirge goes to the jail, speaks to Vanya, and gains the drugs that she smuggled on her person into prison. Is this accurate?
Yes,
This is accurate. I just want to make
had
certain that
drugs.
this is accurate. Yes, you
I
had
had
drugs you smuggled on your person.
I specifically
Into
told
fantasy
her,
prison.
like, I showed her the knife. I was like, cover your tracks better next time. Come on.
And then he took the drugs to the dude's house.
Dirge then proceeds to go to the guy's house, sneaks in pretty well until he confronts one of the noble's children, who he then says, go ahead, Dirge.
It's okay. It's Gozra Day tomorrow. If you go to bed right away, your dad might come back to life. the kid was like, "My dad's dead" or something like that. He said that to me unprompted. I was like, "Well, don't worry. On Gozer Day, if you're a good boy, your people can sometimes come back to life or some shit like
I
that."
just want to say the way that the way that Prank said, looked at him, says, "My dad's dead." It reminded me of that sketch or that clip of from Walker Texas Ranger with the little kid from because
Walker says,
Walker told me I have AIDS.
I remember that.
Haley Clausen. Anyway,
Walker.
So to
Walker
be
told me
clear
I had
about Dirge's entire involvement, he steals the murder weapon, gets the drugs from Vanya, goes to the noble houses of the noble that they killed, lies to a child about bringing his dad back to life, plants some drugs, then goes back to the tavern and specifically finds a woman of the night that he can use as an alibi, so that way it makes it seem like he was at the tavern all night. Did I pretty much wrap up all of Dirge's dirty deeds?
I did also nod at Maj as I wheelied past. Yeah, like
That's
I gave
true.
him
Living out
a
his
little,
fantasy.
I gave him a little salute.
Yeah, Maj was the only one that saw him.
Yeah,
The
he was
other-
the-
The other thing that happened was the rest of the crew, rather, I should say, so that will be Cranston, Bees, and Maj, decide to go to the prison to pay a visit to Blusvecchia, Vanya. They run into essentially the office manager, as well as kind of the warden or the head. What are they? What do we call them again?
Constables.
Constables. The head constable of this area.
Sorry.
While they're in the interrogation room, just speaking to these people, trying to figure out what's going on, Maj notices something weird on the wall. A symbol of the Whispering Tyrant, or at the very least, a symbol of the people who are associated with the cult of the Whispering Way. Bum, bum, bum. I'm trying to find the image so that I can show it to everybody, but I don't know what I did with it, because I lose everything. I just needed to delete maps that we don't use anymore.
I found it by searching the word whisper. So I found it last.
Oh, did you actually find it?
No, I saw it last session.
Oh, but you don't have it now, do you? Way to go, B. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know why I'm being a dick.
Whispering Way symbol. There it is.
Whispering Way symbol. That's not the one that I shared, but it's essentially
another
the gist. It's a skeleton with kind of the mouth wrapped.
Here's
Maj.
another one. Here's his Whispering Way symbol cleaned up. It's
Oh,
all
maybe
one
that's the
word.
one I use.
It's all one word.
Oh, that's probably why it didn't trigger then.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, you find this symbol and you decide, I need to go talk to Vanya because things look like they're a little bit more dire than we think. He melds into the wall with stone. A clever use of the spell, might I add. Did I give you inspiration or hero point for that? Because I should have if I didn't.
No.
I thought that was really clever the way that you utilized
It
that.
was.
So you should absolutely get a hero point retroactively.
Well done.
Because I'm a generous GM. Because at some point
Generous.
I'll throw an encounter that's too hard at you guys, and it should all even out. That's
Generous
Hey.
and thorough.
at least like you're a good GM to where you give. I feel like at least once a session you give somebody a, you know.
Well, there we go. I don't got to do it again now.
No, that's a retroactive one.
I do want to remind everybody you do have one hero point to spend perception.
Yeah.
Per session.
Or
I
on
didn't
whatever
realize
skill you want.
per session. Yeah. You talk to Vanya, give her a heads up about what's going on. Tell her you need to get the F out of there. You give her some acid. You go back to the entrance like you were never gone in the first place. Cranston, by the way, I forgot to mention that Cranston ascertained a ton of information last episode. That needs to not go unacknowledged. We need to acknowledge that.
All
He-
shucks.
He found out that this tattoo that was on the noble person's chest that exploded was not only cult connected, but that specifically he kind of had intuited that he thought the Whispering Way was specifically using these tactics to keep their followers silent in the event that they were killed. or in the event that they were compromised, because that's what the tattoo does. It's essentially like a poison pill of sorts, or just activates. Nonetheless, he's able to figure out all of that to find out that this noble person who we really haven't been clear about was a member of the cult of the Whispering Way. So Cranston continues to kind of talk to the people at the jail, fast forwarding back to that again. They don't get the information they want, they don't get the assistance and the help they want, and they begin to walk away. I have regular hats, but that's less fun.
We're like redeeming things on his stream, if you're wondering.
Yes.
We're interrupting his.
My really, for whatever reason, very long recap. I want to
we
catch
did a
Irish
lot.
up to speed. Yeah, I want to catch Irish up to speed.
Yeah.
This is my witch hunter hat. I think it's cool. Okay. So after you guys finish with talking to the head constable as well as the office manager, you decide to make your way back to the tavern. After you make your way back to the tavern, on the way, Mr. Maj says something to his friends.
Just keep walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep walking.
Just keep walking.
Yeah. Sir Hammond and was oblivious. I think Cranston didn't quite recognize it either. I mean, he knew about this holy symbol, was like all about it, but we didn't see that.
I never saw it. I didn't.
Yeah, we
pick
didn't
up
see
on
it. We didn't see it at the station, so we were just like dumbly telling them everything. Like, oh, there's a cult here. We're gonna just bring them down. And everything will be fine.
And
That's
why are these guys being so uncooperative?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we left off. And then Blue used the acid to break Vanya out of prison. And she's currently on the run. They know she's on the run. Everybody hears that somebody's prisoner has escaped the prison. And that is where we are. And we're going to pick up right there. Because, boy howdy, a lot of shit's going down. So, Blue, you know what? I need more appropriate music, though. This is far too calm for what's going on. So let's see, maybe start by feel. Let's go with mood. Let's see, pensive, sad, no. Anxiety, tension. Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, God.
Uncertain future. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll go ahead and use uncertain future. Kind
So
of like
this
that.
is the following day after
No.
we had gotten there.
This is the no. This is like the same fucking
10 seconds.
day.
Maybe early morning hours, maybe.
Yeah, this is like maybe like 2 a.m. Blue has broken out of prison. You were asleep. I imagine like you fainted because of the blood loss. You would wake up. Maybe what startles you awake is the scream that a prisoner has escaped the prison. Now, you have no idea about the murder. You have no idea that Vanya was imprisoned. And you have no idea that she has freed herself. You also have no idea that Dirge was a big old dick. And so...
You might have a clue about that.
No one will ever know how much of a dick I was.
It's true.
How many
Except for
days
that little
is
kid.
this the effect of the blood loss? Do you remember?
It's been like 2. We really haven't. Maybe 3 or 4, honestly.
Do you know if it lasts or when it was supposed to last?
This is the first night since he got drained of blood that we've actually slept. Well, he's actually slept.
Yeah, but there's been times since that he was trained on blood.
Okay.
His drain symptom is supposed to last for weeks, and the only way to cure it is to get a blood transfusion, which is what we set up for the next day.
It's specific to the particular creature that you all fought.
Yeah.
Which is a big old pain in the ass for you, I understand. Which I'm okay with. So that's where we're at. Let's actually give Rogue some screen time here. A shot of screaming in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden, I imagine we see through Asgrim's eyes as his eyes flicker open to the abrupt sounds that have kind of raised him from his stupor in bed, in the very soft bed, which I'm certain has got to feel nice after camping and kind of going through everything that you have thus far.
Yeah, definitely. He was very happy to finally get a rest and not have to fight a monster.
So what do you
And,
do? Or I'm sorry, I cut you off. Continue, buddy.
No, he gets up and he looks around the room. I'm sure he's probably doesn't have his armor on at the moment. So
That's fair.
he gets up and he starts to because he was pretty relaxed, I think, and just
Makes
chilling.
sense.
So he's looking around, wondering where the scream came from. Did it sound like it came from in here or outside?
Outside, and the scream has specifically woke you up, and I imagine you continue to hear it echoed throughout the city of just escape, prisoner escaped.
Oh, the guards will handle that. Get back to sleep.
I like it.
So we're all at the same inn, right?
Yes. So you actually might be upstairs or in the same corridor as him.
Did
Yeah.
we make it back home? I mean, we were already back before.
I think
the
y'all were
escape.
leaving, right? Or not leave?
I think we were going back to the hotel and pretend like we didn't know anything.
Yeah, you're on your way
Right.
back.
But we hear that there's an escape as we're walking back.
Yep.
Yes, and that's when Maj told you all just to keep walking
Just keep
and
walking, be cool.
Realistically, sorry, could I make a perception check maybe to see if I recognize it was her screaming?
No more.
You wouldn't have heard her screaming because you didn't wake up to that earlier. What you are
okay.
specifically waking up to is the guards yelling that a prisoner has escaped.
Yeah, then he would
Prison
probably
break.
start to lay back down. Yeah.
And nobody
Okay.
else escaped. It was just her cell, right? It was just like the window, her window, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you go ahead and just kind of lie back down. That's the guards' job. They'll take care of it. You've been through heck. You need to rest. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he'll do.
Dirge, you're just banging some chick upstairs. Is that what's going on?
So I specifically, I just wanted her for an alibi. I am sitting at the edge of the bed, and I am like, your money's on the table. I don't. Oh, not that voice, obviously. Bud, your money's on the table. I don't want nothing to do with you. Sorry, you're just an alibi. But you'll see the tip is more than sufficient. Yeah.
She looks at you.
What an
quizzically.
insult to a prostitute.
No. Nothing against you, darling. You're very fine, and I like what you got going on. But no, I'm sorry. I don't take my pants off for just anybody.
Wow,
And
this
I
scoundrel's
slip-
got standards.
he's not a bard.
I'm not a swashbuckler. I'm not a bard. So
Okay, so you
I'll,
you also hear about the escape, and I imagine you would hear the screaming and yelling that somebody's escaped.
shit. Well, I guess I don't need an alibi after all. I think it's about to hit the fan. Keep the money. Let's see, how much money do I actually have to give her?
You're gonna give her like 50 gold pieces or something, right?
Shut the fuck up. Let's see. Where do you have gold at?
Inventory.
Inventory. Bam.
The bottom.
Yep. I would give her, I don't know, 5 gold pieces?
Sure.
I don't know. Okay, so now I'm at.
She takes the 5 gold pieces without even thinking about it, and she's just like, "Thank you." And
Yeah, just if you could just stay in the room for.
I'll
the
stay
evening.
here. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm gonna sneak out and go knock on Rogue's door.
To go out, knock on Rogue's door. We're gonna fade to the group walking towards the inn, and it will be assumed that he has woken you up and has kind of I don't. He can tell you as much as he wants, but the group
Mr.
that's
the Pale.
walking,
Mr. the Pale.
Mr. the Pale. My father's Mr. the Pale. And you continue. The three of you. The scene moves to Cranston, Maj, and Hammond, walking back to the inn. What do we see? What do they continue to do?
Maj continues telling Sir Hammond, "Don't worry, I have taken care of everything. Just keep walking. Just keep walking."
She's not
As
safe.
Maj is being carried in his arms right now.
Oh, that's right. I was carrying you because my saddle isn't on. Yeah, I think Sir Hammond is very like just stiff, trying to look natural and calm, but like, what is happening right now? And every time I talk, Maji shushes me, so he would probably just continue to try to interrupt by saying what he's thinking. But she's not. But these people, you can't trust these people.
Sir Hammond? Sir Hammond? Don't make me bust out the steed. Not around our new friend.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't see anything.
I will explain everything when we are in the comfort of a nice room.
In that case, yeah, Sir
In
Hammond
that-
will move a lot faster.
Yes, let's double our pace.
For the purposes of just keeping things moving,
Yep.
I am going to assume at this point that the three of you walk back to the inn, and at which point, Rogue and Dirge just coincidentally are to be like coming down the stairs at the exact moment you guys are walking in. However, Vanya, we last saw you running away from the prison. Where are you going?
I'm going to the destination that Maj told me to meet. Like, I'm going back to
The asshole
the
city?
cache. Like, the cache, and then I'm going to the asshole city, apparently.
Wait. Specific. Like, oh, okay.
No,
I was trying to think of
Maj.
which cache what you were talking about.
The one where we defeated those
we just-
monsters and I
yeah.
got poisoned. Yes, it's great. I'm headed back there, and then he said that I should seek shelter at the asshole village. This place.
So to kind of give us an idea, Vanya's right there. I mean, not exactly right there, but you get the gist. She's not with the core of the party, and the core of the party is the flaming skull, just because it's cool as hell. I don't need a reason other than that. You guys are the flaming skull. So you are running as fast as you can to get back to the stash. I think we kind of argued, I think we decided that in your party, each hexagon was about 8 hours. I think roughly something like that. Or maybe you can go like 5 hexes a day. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was less than that because
Is more than that or less than that?
if we could move several hexes in a day, then one hex couldn't be however many hours, right?
I think it was 3 hexes per day, and if we got mounts, it was going to be 5.
I think I doubled it to 6.
Yeah, 6 again.
Okay, so 3
So
hexes a day. Go
Is
ahead.
it possible to do a quick scene with, I guess it would be Dirge, since he was the one that knocked on the door, explaining to me why we have to leave?
Oh, no, that's... Well, actually, he wouldn't even know why you have to leave, right?
Yeah.
Dirge would. I mean,
I think we're
Dirge
just
would
watching
know
This is the scene where Vanya's running away before we actually talk about it.
I
Okay.
mean, essentially, Dirge would. I think he would be smart enough to piece 1 and 1 together with, 1 and 2 together with the prison break and the,
Yeah.
you
had your own part in it.
Personally.
Okay, so that makes
Yeah.
sense. So we see Vanya continuing to run. The party is still walking into the inn. Dirge, you knock on the door. Take it away, boys.
Yeah, but I think we gotta be heading on. I think well, the cat got into a lot of trouble, and I'm pretty certain she just escaped from prison. So yeah,
What the fuck? He's gonna...
yeah. You missed a lot.
I was just asleep for maybe a couple of hours. I'm still sleeping now. But what about the transfusion tomorrow with the...
Things escalated quickly there, but I think it's best if we be moseying on. Like, okay, so there's a guy, a noble in this town that I'm like 95% certain Vanya killed. And then he exploded separately from the killing.
She left the tavern? Wow, she didn't go to sleep with everybody else?
That would be that would appear to be the case, yes.
Oh, which reminds me, Asgrim would have woke up with like a cloth across his head, extra pillow under his head, and Marge took care of him before he left.
As I see him, I do want to run a medicine check on him.
Okay. You're running a medicine check on who?
On what was it, Rogue's character?
Rogue,
Yeah.
Asgrim.
We haven't got there yet.
Oh, I thought we just were in there.
Sorry. We kind of backed up a little bit. You're right to be confused. All right. So, is there anything else you two would like to convey?
There's horses out in the stable. Let's a mosey on. We have some horses, right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Actually, you wouldn't have known it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that y'all have horses.
She acquired horses without telling us about it?
Blue was the one who bought the horses.
I thought she told
No,
me because
we
she
met-
told me about the pony.
We had. Are you? No, they know I have horses because I took their gold.
I didn't say they. I was speaking to Max because he got here at night. He doesn't know about the horses.
Oh, that's true.
Fair enough.
Everyone else does because they gave me gold for it.
Max
Alright,
walked in on the clusterfuck.
So, Asgrim, of course, he's just upset and pissed off, and he's got to get his armor on and stuff, and then, but he's hurrying up to.
Oh my god, what a mess.
It is. It's an absolute mess. I love it. It's a beautiful, wonderful mess. All right. So this is how I imagine it in my mind's eye. Vanya's running. Asgrim's maybe like still pulling up his pants as he's like walking down the stairs, right? Like he's still getting his shit on, grabbing everything.
Usual.
And so Dirge and him are walking down the stairs, and now the three of you have just walked into the inn.
Can we talk now? Or do we need to wait?
Get to the rooms. Get to the rooms.
Run upstairs.
I follow a little bit more sedately.
So you all go back up the stairs.
Are we sure we're not
It's gotta
running,
be kind of
boys? I hear
comedic then.
the alarms.
Marge kind of
down?
gives him his little mousy hand, like.
Team meeting!
Right?
People!
Asgrim.
Keep it down.
Asgrim's
Please.
putting his leather strap on as he's coming down the stairs, and then they're going back up the stairs, and he's like,
Oh, we crossed paths. This is the Scooby-Doo cartoon right now.
I love it though.
Okay,
Okay,
and then when he
so-
gets in, he goes, "What the fuck is going on?"
Vanya Dooby Doo, where are you? She's stabbing a noble.
You are all
She's currently
upstairs
running for her life.
in a room
Running for her
with
life
Asgrim
from the
cursing.
cops.
Feel free to talk freely. You don't really feel like anyone's nearby. I mean,
Mosh, you have a plan. What is-
Maj opens up his book and pulls out a page and starts writing something down while Mr. Hammond's questioning him.
I'm sorry. You said you have a plan. What will we do? This is.
The plan is we not be here anymore. My plan.
So, Maj now holds up a piece of paper. It says, Vanya has escaped. I told her to go to the city with the assholes just below the supply cache. We should stay the night. Be to Asgrim. I have a plan to get all of her equipment.
Why are we leaving here? What the fuck happened?
We're not leaving.
We need to leave.
All of a sudden, after it seems like everybody has read the page, Maj will use Produce Flame and just incinerate that page.
Don't like this. We haven't committed any crimes. There's no reason legally why they could pursue us. She escaped on her own, he says. Wait, did one of you help her escape?
The local constabulary here are a part of the Whispering Watch.
Whispering Way.
Whispering Way. While you guys were talking to the head constabulary and his admin clerk, whatever her name was, I
Missy.
noticed that there was the skull with the bandana all over the precinct, marking that it was part of their territory.
This cannot stand.
I believe that these so-called constabularies are actually working with them.
That explains a lot, including their reluctance to help us.
Yes,
All the more reason to not be here. Come back in force and take this out later.
We have to see to Asgrim's health, and we have to recover Vanya's equipment.
Well, we have a healer here, don't we? And he points to our new gentleman.
Yes, let me take a look, Groot. Let's
We
see if
haven't-
I can do anything.
we haven't tested his juice yet.
His juice. I forgot about that.
That's why we were here. We were here to get some new
he doesn't
juice.
have human juice. That's right.
You humans are beyond sometimes. I would like to run a medicine
we
check.
tested the cat and the mouse just to make sure. Maybe we
I'm
should
talking about
test the
blood,
dwarf.
You're talking about blood. If
Hush, you're not there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Forgot completely about that.
He needed
This
a blood
is-
transfusion.
this is Az's first time meeting the new character, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Cranston, yeah. For sure.
But he hasn't met him, but he'll trust him to if he's.
Yeah, he looks like a cleric, at least, so.
I'm a very cleric-y looking cleric.
He's desperate to get blood, his juice back. So yeah, he lets him check him out, and then he is kind of interested, I think, hearing. Sorry, what was the ratkin's name?
Maj?
Maj, yeah. Hearing Maj say that about the guards too, a little more understanding comes across his face too, and he'll look over at Hammond and be like, "The guards? They're part of this evil guild."
I believe so. Unfortunately.
And Maj right now is listening in to see if he hears anybody outside the door or if anything is going on.
It's a great question.
You
Don't
roll your
me-
nat 20 on that?
Is that what you rolled a nat 20 on? Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you and your rolls, Jester.
He had some great rolls last week. And now.
Hot dishes, juice is juice. All right. So, it's a good thing you were listening in. Because I'm not going to give you guys clues anymore. You tell me if you want to fucking do something.
This bed is huge.
It's a good thing that you rolled, because as you are listening, perking up your ears, your large rat ears, you do hear some commotion from downstairs. In fact, with a natural 20, you hear, "Citizens of Nantwich, all will be well. We just need to hold everyone, stay in their homes or in the taverns or what have you, until the morning to get all of this sorted out. It has been reported." Some kind of murmuring goes on after that.
Guys, I don't know how many of you have my hearing abilities, but they are giving people an order to stay in buildings inside and in taverns or homes right now, down in the parlor, the bar area. Downstairs.
Go out the window to the stables.
I think at this point it would be best that we stay here the night. See to you getting your juice, and I have a plan to get her equipment back. I will need that bag of holding though, Sir Hammond.
Of course. Kind of just hands it over to him without even questioning.
So I'm gonna run a medicine check real quick on Asgrim.
On Asgrim's juice.
That is a big bed.
34.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, 20s.
Natural 20s.
Doing that 20.
Asgrim's real low on juice, man. He's real low on people juice.
I'm thinking, would a restoration work on it?
No, actually. The specific rules of the monster that they fought was a night hag, or was that
Blood
a
hag.
Blood hag.
blood hag? And I imagine Maj would be able to relay as much to you, just in the interest of kind of like adjudicating some of these more simple things. In essence, a blood hag has the ability to drain blood. And it specifically states a victim's drained condition decreases only by once per week. And a blood transfusion, which requires a successful DC 20 medicine check and sufficient blood or a blood donor, reduces the drained condition by 1 after 10 minutes. That, as far as I understand it here, is the only way to cure this condition.
Nice.
It's pretty hardcore.
I would assume I have a medical kit, so should I give it a shot?
Yeah, so what we were doing was I was having everybody roll a D4 to ascertain whether or not their blood matches his. I think we decided he was a O.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you have
Negative
to...
or positive?
I wasn't going that far into it.
It was only a D4.
Yeah, roll a D4, and I think I'll let you decide what number you want to be, Rogue. What number do you want to be?
Rogue was an AB. He was a universal blood donor. And there was no one that could donate to him.
So a universal blood donor is type O. A universal receiver is AB.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, and he made it pretty simple. It was like what I rolled. If anybody matched what I rolled, right?
Yeah, it was like roll a 4 because you rolled a 4 or
Yeah.
something like that.
And
So if you
course
want to
I
roll
rolled.
if you want to roll a D4, just we'll say that he is a 4.
Think dwarf blood can mix with human blood?
Kinda.
You know what? You know what we decided? I remember
Human, it had to be human blood.
When it
Human
came
juice.
to different races, I actually increased the difficulty of the die to a D8. I recall
Yep.
that now.
oh, is that what it was?
Yes. So roll a D8 for me, Rogue, and then you will also have to roll a D8. And if you somehow manage to match, if you can get a 5 on that die, it matches die, then you can be a donor for him.
juice. You might have matching juice.
How do you roll in this
Just
thing?
pick up the thing at the
Grab
bottom
the
and
die. Yeah.
roll it in the box.
Yeah. By the way, the
great.
rule
Yeah,
is
great.
it has to be in the box, just like if this is an actual
There
game.
we go.
Yeah.
Mismatched juices.
Cranston,
Um,
you feel pretty confident your juice doesn't match his.
So Asgrim will say, is it possible to stop by the hospital and find some juice that matches mine?
In the morning
don't-
we can.
Why do I keep using the word juice? Blood, right? It's blood.
It's just blood. That's right.
Humors.
Why do I keep using the word juice?
Because juice is the technical term, you see. Juice is like what the doctors say. I
Never
heard
listen
this.
to him. Never listen to him. Ever. On medical.
I have seen
Subjects.
many people's insides. I think I know a little bit.
It's nice to
Well,
think.
just sits over in the corner. I swear. How I keep my sanity is beyond me.
The reason they call it juice is like whenever you push a straw into a juice box and a little bit squirts out. It's like whenever you stab somebody, a little bit of juice comes out.
What's a
That's why they
juice
call
box?
it juice.
What's a juice box?
I don't know.
Awesome.
And then I have a mental breakdown.
Did anybody match him when y'all were
No.
doing this?
I think
Nobody has
the
matched
like
it.
the like local like nurse or doctor, she could help us get it done with the donor.
That is
It was-
correct.
she had lined someone up for the next day apparently.
You
For
know,
the next day, but nobody could stay in their rooms for the night and go to sleep.
Yeah, I was literally like, yeah, the next day, that's fine, that'll work out. You know, she's in the middle of doing all these things, and then you're all like, we want to go out at night and do a bunch of crazy shit. And Rogue was the only one that was like, I want to go to sleep. Can we all just go to sleep? I
who is
really
this
appreciate it
monkey
if we
It
could
that's
just go to
doing all
sleep.
every
this
time.
stuff?
Marsh
happens.
stayed in the room until you heard the scream.
Oh my god.
It's true. It's true.
It's
It's
just
a
a
study.
I
absolute
wasn't alone.
clusterfuck.
I was not alone.
Yes, Sir
Yeah,
Hammond.
there was the person you murdered with you.
Sorry, it's yeah.
Night of
Bad
Ozum.
Bad kitty.
So that is the situation. You believe that there are guards downstairs trying to keep people in. You also believe, so you're up here. You're all currently in one room. How do you proceed?
I think it's best if I just go to bed and prepare for tomorrow because I have a big day ahead of me.
What happens when they come to search the rooms?
They won't find anything.
And then I slowly like pull out the like Vanya's daggers. Like, I do have this still.
Awesome.
What is
She-
that?
And I'm like, she did totally
the murder
kill that
weapon.
guy. She did totally kill that guy.
So you tell everybody.
The murder
I
weapon.
I do bring it up like as like she did like this was at the crime scene, and I slide it back into my like I assume I have like some sort of teeth or something. I've been keeping it in.
And don't forget, everyone, that the killing was justified.
Yes, he was a cultist, so she probably figured that out, and you know, best intentions is to murder him, of course.
Maj reaches out his hand. Hand me the blade real fast.
She wouldn't have just killed somebody, but
Maj walks over to the water
she
basin.
may have.
Walks over to the water basin and starts washing it off with the bar of soap that he's been carrying around.
Oh, you're getting the seasoning off of it. Come on,
This is
it's
dangerous.
been properly juiced.
You misspelled it. It's spelled evidence. He's washing the evidence off of it.
So he's washing it off, and whenever it's clean and he doesn't see any blood, he walks over to the window, tosses out the soapy water.
So really quick. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I forget we're in a medieval society. It's like, why would you toss the soapy water out?
First off, I should have interrupted you sooner, but I was in the middle of kind of catching Irish up. So let's all blame Irish. Everybody say, I blame Irish. 1, 2, 3.
Irish, why are you here?
We love you, Irish.
We love you so much.
So secondly,
How That's just very rude.
secondly, I'm going to say actually the knife is out. You haven't gotten a chance to take it out of his hand yet because you hear knocking at the door. You're just like poof, 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 poof. Right, hello. Or there, we're checking in on all of the inhabitants here. We're putting a lockdown on the homes because of a prison break, and so as a result, we need to check all of the rooms to see if the person is in here. The dangerous fugitive.
I'm gonna come out and I'm like, oh, sorry, I was just saying goodbye to my friends before I meet up with the hooker I hired for the evening. Good night, y'all. And I leave the room and go into my room with the prostitute just sitting at the bed.
Awesome. You did not tell me you tried to hide the knife in your hands.
I know. I would just. Okay.
You didn't say anything.
No, he had the knife. Freaking Maj had the knife.
I said that didn't happen because that's what the whole reason we shamed
Oh,
Irish.
shoot.
Oh.
Oh.
He was
whole
undoing the
reason.
scene. We missed it. We shame her for fun.
We shamed her.
We don't
I
need a
just-
reason to shame her.
I just
we,
heard shaming Irish. Well, then,
We
yeah, then
love bullying people on this podcast. On this,
I would have like, I okay.
Our friends especially. So no, if you want to, okay. Like I said, gloves are off from here on out. So
I
if
think
you want,
we all misunderstood what actually
that's
happened.
fair. Which is why I'm going to
He
give you
did
an
say I should have
opportunity
stopped
to
you
hide
sooner.
it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you one opportunity to hide this thing.
I'm gonna hide it. Yeah. I was gonna hand it to him, and I hear the knock. I'm like, shh. Like I'm a slide it away.
Roll me that thievery check.
Thievery. There's so many pop-ups. Do. And skills. Thievery. You know what? I'm gonna use my hero point. Just
He remembered.
Yeah, but it's
14.
28. That's not a bad roll.
See if you can do better than that. That's pretty good, though.
Oh,
Nice, buddy.
31.
Wow. DC 32.
DC 32.
31.1. Sorry, guys. DC 31.1.
I'm actually going to make it against their perception. Give me a second here. Do.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see it on that
it was a
natural
cracked
20?
die, too.
Did you see that on that natural 20?
It was
so
cracked on
mad.
18, too.
I know. 2. You get so goddamn lucky. So they knock open the door. Yes. Well, we still need to enter into the room.
Oh, yes. My room's over there if you want to come see me later while I'm banging my hooker.
We have no interest in that.
All right, well, good night, fellas. Thank you for keeping the law and stuff.
Maj
Again,
is just
banging hookers.
over there talking to Cranston about the, was it Whispering Way?
Sorry, we were reading Irish's comment.
I
What was that
reading-
again,
Say that
Chester?
again.
Maj is just over sitting on the bed talking to Cranston about the Whispering Way, just out loud, comparing our notes.
So,
Interesting.
I know that they use the magic to cause the explosion. But do you know of anything else that the Whispering Way likes to use for control? Anything that we might need to...
And
Gotta roll a die here. Okay.
Grim looks over at Maj, like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
All right, so a couple things are going to happen. First thing that's going to happen, the door opens, and the guards see you guys. Second thing that happens, one of the guards is kind of like pushed back by the door into the arms of the other one. And they slowly come around his torso. And the one that got caught kind of like snuggles up a little bit. And he just goes, just like a brief little, and they both have this look at one. I'm redeeming Iris's points.
Irish, it's finally having a non-player character in the chat redeeming stuff.
Yeah. So they look at each other. One of them is like, I've longed to feel that embrace. And there is this soft, tender look between the two of them as the door opens.
Let's get a room here, too. Rooming guards.
I'll be damned if there's a prisoner on the loose. I'll be damned if all these other things are going on.
Like, that prisoner brought us to a perfect makeout spot. They'll never know we're gone.
And the one, I think Rogue is still laughing. So the other one responds, after we check this room.
I'm gonna check your room.
Oh man. I'm gonna check your Okay, I'm gonna give this guy
Maj holds out the soap.
You might need this later.
so goddamn dumb. So dumb.
So funny.
I love you too, Irish. All right, so that kind of goes on. You don't really think, maybe it's just the distraction of the moment, really doesn't hear the entirety of Maj's conversation, because obviously they've got other things going on. But they do look into the room, and the one who's holding him like tosses him to the side and looks and he says, "We are looking for the accomplices of the Catwoman. She came into this village with several other people. You are visitors here, yes?"
Why, yes, we are.
One of them looks specifically at Sir Hammond and just shakes their head and says, "Are you planning on doing the shiver as well? Is that why you have this person here?"
What's a person?
You.
Oh, we don't. Never. How dare I don't care for the insinuation, the
Well,
accusation.
your friends in town sure seem to love the stuff.
Yes, this is something I need to get around to eventually.
Getting
But let's
drugs
go.
for them, probably? Yes, we would expect as much.
He's just Travis biting his tongue.
What is his posture?
Would
they be able to see the anxiety and tension?
Yeah, I don't know how good I am at faking deception. Trying to keep my cool. I guess a diplomacy check.
Roll me a no. I like the idea of rolling a deception check because you're
Because I
really
suck at it.
You're really angry,
Yeah,
but you're
that's fair.
trying to hide it.
I'm trying to
it's-
act like
it's
I'm not. Like,
absolutely
I
a deception check. Yeah.
Can I throw something in there? Can I add? Can I see if they have that symbol anywhere on them or any signs of that?
It's a great question. Roll me a
You do that
perception
while
check.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Trying to play it cool.
I have an idea.
Like I'm mad at Vanya for escape. Like I'm mad for. I feel stupid that I was deceived by these cops at the at the station, and now these guys are harassing me like I'm some idiot. And when my friends actually could use my help because they're addicts now. So this is
You
a
guys
lot of
are
feelings.
rolling natural 20s like crazy. What the fuck?
There's a lot of 20s. A lot of
Is it
20s.
possible to throw a guidance on him at this point, or does that not work very well with Pathfinder?
For who?
For bees.
Oh, we probably have to. If you have guidance, is that one you have to call before?
Yeah, I think that's something you'd have to call before. Like, you know that a check is coming.
Okay. Well, I was going to call
or-
it before you rolled.
Oh,
thought
you just
before
didn't
you
get a
rolled.
chance. You know what? I'll let you have it because I'm a generous GM.
Also, is it going to be like they're going to see you casting magic on me while I'm?
That's kind of what I was wondering.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Maj is going to stand up off the bed. And he's
As
going to
all
start.
of this is going on.
Yep.
It's so much going on right now.
Maj is actually going to cast a spell called Elemental Zone. Now, all this it does is it will make whatever I designate a stronger magic. So let's say fire. I do not take very kindly to you belittling my friend here. He is a noble knight of Ozum, follower of Adomade. And he messes up the name. And as he casts Elemental Zone, he just says, fire. As his hands start to glow with a little bit of fire.
Oh, jeez.
So, a lot of things are happening at once.
They really are.
First
Hey,
off,
my first combat.
and as it seems like tensions are getting higher, I'm gonna need Vanya. We go back to a different scene with Vanya running. Vanya, I'm gonna need you to make me a series of checks. I'm assuming you're running, correct?
With the fact that she no longer has anything that she's carrying, nothing in her pockets, and she's just in her regular clothes, she is going feral cat mode and running on all fours.
Absolutely. Fun. Roll me an athletics check. We need to see how long she can keep this up.
It bounced out of the box.
Then it doesn't count.
I hate that bit.
Just like real life. Hey, Okay, so yeah, you're able to like just like keep it up. You're like the Terminator. Boom, 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 going. You hear barking in the distance. It's clear dogs are out. This is like like think like prison escape type moment. You maybe like hear like you could see like torches every now and then when you like look back. You hear the dogs barking. Maybe even you hear like the. It's clear they've even brought out horses and the like. You are running at this.
She's also shedding her clothes.
Okay, not needed, but I like it.
She's got blood all over him. That's scent, right?
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So she's shedding. She's getting rid of.
Just going full naked,
shaving as well.
She's
like
shaving off her, shaving off her fur. Okay, so as this is going on, you're just like butt naked at this point, like running as fast as you possibly can. So here's the deal. We need to roll for a random encounter to see if something happens because you're moving into a new hex. So I'd like for you to roll me the D100, and I'd like for you to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that if you roll 30 or under, there will be a random encounter. You know what? I already said it. 67. All right. Boof, 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 boof. You just keep going as fast as you possibly can, running. They're catching up to you. They've got horses. They've got dogs. You are running the distance. That's not the problem. The problem is they've got speed on you as you're trying to run away from everything that's going on. Roll me a... What are you doing as they draw closer? Are you trying to hide? Are you trying to just run faster? Are you trying to go for the water? Area? So right in this particular area, you kind of have a small area. A bunch of different biomes are kind of converging. It's a little bit barren. It's kind of grassy and plainish like, but it's also next to like the stream. So it's still like, when it gets close to the stream, it's just very like, what's the word I'm looking for? Flush with vegetation, not trees, mind you, because it's still kind of a prairie-ish. So a lot of tall grass, that type of thing.
How big is the stream?
It is not,
You did say this was a fishing village.
I did say this is a fishing village, and so it's absolutely, it's probably a pretty decent, it's probably closer to a river. I think that's what I was actually trying to go for, like a small river that leads into
moving water.
Yes.
So what if she runs towards the water, gets in it, and then starts swimming with the stream? Will she move faster?
As soon as at the stream, she'll just do this and end up back in Nanwich.
No. So are you telling me the stream's going that way?
It goes toward the
instead
town.
of that way?
Oh, I guess actually it would make...
If like you have a bigger patch of water there, going down towards a fishing village...
Yeah.
Shouldn't the water be flowing...
First off, I don't like your attitude. Secondly,
it's classic D&D like rivers don't work like that.
Yeah. Secondly, I'm going to say that the river continues like this. I'm going to say the river continues like this. You bring up a very good and valuable point. I still don't like you. With that said,
just in general,
I'm taking away hero point just out of sheer pettiness. And
yes, I have two.
Well, great, you'll have one. And so it goes... I'm just kidding. I won't do that. That'd be terrible. You are heading... the river does look like it heads the direction of the main river to the south, which you would know to connect kind of the main river that Vigil is on. So what are you going to do? You gonna do that? You're going to get in the water. You're going to get in the water.
When push comes to shove, yeah. If she sees a fast-moving stream and she's being chased by horses and dogs, and she knows horses and dogs can't really go into the water,
okay,
but maybe she can gain some speed by getting into the water and swimming with the current towards the village.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. All right, so that's the plan. Go ahead and... All right, so first things first. You're not trying to hide. You're trying to run. So make me another athletics check as you are just... so here's what we're going to do instead. Instead of moving you there, I'm going to say you're going to move here. Everything I said still applies in terms of the situation and everything that's going on. 19 is good enough. They, there's at a point, ooh, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. Give me a second. I think this will be awesome. Maybe it'll be awesome. Maybe it won't. Fuck. I got some new stuff the other day that would be perfect for this moment. I just got to see if I actually loaded it up or if I just, bullshitted myself. Looks like I bullshitted myself. Good times. Good job, Chris. Whatever. We'll do this. You're running. You can hear them in the distance. The clomping of the foot, the boot steps of the horses coming after you. The barking of the dogs. You're a cat. This is a terrible, terrible situation for you. You're literally cornered between this river and everything going on. She's going for the river! Go! Hurry! Cut her off! We're not going to enter into an actual combat, but I just think this will be fun. The wolves get up on you. Running. I'd like for you to make
Wolves or dogs?
Wolf
The tracking dogs are-
they're
okay.
wolf dogs. Because I still want them to be big enough to eat you.
Okay, okay.
Go ahead and roll me a check to avoid them. What would you like to roll?
That would be acrobatics.
Acrobatics. All right, I love it. I believe the DC for this check is going to be 22, according to the thing I looked at the other day.
Okay, so I shall preemptively use a hero point to roll the better one.
Okay, dogs are on your heels, trying to bring you down.
There's the first.
That is a success. That is a save.
Okay.
You evade them, just jumping over them, like biting. You jump out of the way, like darting to and fro as fast as you possibly can, just trying to get away from them. Running as fast as you possibly can to the river.
I can imagine being on all fours is giving me a pretty good maneuverability advantage.
The next thing that you hear is, ready the ballers! Cut you to stop! And you hear like people like loading something, some type of a crossbow or something, or the people on horseback like running up alongside of you. You're really close to the river at this point. I'm gonna have you have to succeed at 3 checks. That's
Question.
the goal. Yes.
Question.
I'm listening. What's your question?
So you have the horses coming up next to me?
Yeah. I think they're like
And
at this point.
Are we matching pace?
They are.
Is there any way that I can use? Okay, so I'm imagining like she's running, and then this horse pulls up next to her. Because then there's another option. If she could knock off the person on the horse and take over the horse herself.
I need you to make it. We got to keep the tempo up. Make a decision. 5, 4, 3, 2.
I want to try and take the horse.
Okay.
I want to try and jump from the ground, knock the person off, and grab the horse and go.
This is gonna be a
Gotta
hard.
use the risk it for the biscuit.
This is gonna be a
risk it.
hard check. I'm gonna make it a DC 24.
Okay.
Gonna use your other hero point.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
This is it. And
All
it's
right.
gonna be acrobatics, right? Because I'm doing some crazy shenanigans to knock them off, or
We'll see. Go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check first. This is
Oh.
you're like probably trying to jump onto the back of this and take control of the horse. Bunch of things going on at the same. It was almost on a 20, but that's still a success. You want to roll again, just in case you get a crit success, just for funsies. 26. You manage to like grab the saddle and use your inertia and your weight to like swing around, and knock the guard off, and as the same thing, I'm actually gonna go ahead and take away one of the success options, because the guy who was this is perfect. You get onto the back. The guy gets like
what she did.
Yeah, the guy gets like super surprised about what's going on. The other guard like lets loose a bola at the two of you on the top of the horse, and you like lean back like this, like Neo style, as the bola knocks the guard off the horse that you're on. Totally. All right, you have control of the horse. What are you doing? There's still like one other guard with a horse there. You know that there's still wolves around. First off, give me an animal handling check, it's a nature check to see if you can handle this animal all right. It is not your horse. That is not a success. So it starts to kind of like buck a little bit, not totally responding to everything that you want.
It's just where I start kicking it.
You start kicking it, trying to get it to do what you want. All right.
You grab the reins, grab the horn, and she starts whipping it, and with her feet, and just urging it to go on. Like she's like, yeah.
Trying to urge it to go on. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say the wolves get a chance to pull you off before you get the opportunity to get away. Roll me a reflex save to see if you can evade their attacks.
Okay, so
is this a big fucking hero moment from Vanya, by the way? It kind of seems like it.
So, okay, hold on. So I have the ability called Cat's Luck that says you instinctively twist away from danger. You can re-roll a triggering saving throw and use the better result. So if
Once
it's
per
a saving
session?
throw, huh?
Once per session?
Once per day. Yes, once per day.
Okay, then this is it. We'll see. Remember, it's a DC 22 to evade their attacks. Hits on the die.
Boom.
You avoid the wolf. You spur the horse on, just trying to get the fuck out of the way. Which way direction are you going?
Following the river, I guess.
So you continue to just like follow the river. So now we see Vanya in charge of a horse. The wolves kind of like falling behind, and then also have good point, Asgrim. You did not actually use your cat's luck. She's making her way towards this village. All right, guys, let's go ahead and go back to the tavern as we see Vanya like just making her way. As all of this is kind of going on, we see one particular guard kind of like looks at Hammond.
Yeah.
Makes his way in.
Glaring back at him.
Makes his way
Trying
in.
not to.
Oh, go ahead.
I was saying, I think Hammond is glaring at him. Is just frustrated with the attitude in the midst of all this horror.
So he brings up his hand, and he's like, maybe like he's not like actually like hitting you or touching you or anything, but he like kind of like gets up into your face. He says, "What? You don't like me calling your drug-dealing, drug-using knights what they are? You don't like being associated with druggies and people who are damning our society or making it difficult for everyone else?"
He kind of gives a side eye to Sir Hammond.
As that is going on, it kind of like takes his finger and like puts it in your breast, like just poking as he's doing that, which I imagine is probably pissing you off. As he does that, this is where Rogue's natural 20 on the perception check comes in. His sleeve comes up just barely for a moment, and you can see a tattoo of some kind on the top of his forearm. You feel like it looks like the lower mandible of a skull.
Now, Maj still does cast that.
Rogue, by the way, you're
elemental-
muted. Sorry, he was talking. I saw his lips moving.
Sorry, does Asgrim actually know about that symbol? I can't remember if I got to see that or not.
It was on all the documentation. So
yeah,
Okay,
we definitely
yeah.
talked about it in previous episodes.
Okay, yeah, cool.
And we did tell you very briefly that they're, cops are some of the cops at least.
I'm thinking. What's the name of the order?
Whispering Way.
Whispering Way.
It's like the
I'm
cult
thinking
or
Hail
something
Wi-
in the Whispered Way. I don't know.
What
Something
did
of
you
the
say,
Whispering Way.
Rogue?
I'm thinking Hail the Whispering Way.
So you say it out loud?
I think Asgrim says that.
Asgrim, you say to this guy, "Hail the Whispering Way." Maj, you were about to do something. I want to give you that opportunity to continue to say or do or what have you.
Well, Maj's whole thing was he was doing a spell, seeing that our new cleric friend Cranston was about to do one as well. Maj is trying to cover up Cranston's spell by casting his own spell, which is Elemental Zone.
Gotcha.
Elemental Zone
Now-
would raise the temperature of the room, and therefore giving a +2 to all to all fire attacks.
Got it. What
And
were you
it's a
saying?
120-foot area.
And all I was going to do was put an guidance on Hammond.
Guidance on Hammond. Okay. So, got it. Okay. Bunch of stuff's going on at this exact moment. You say, "Hail the Whispering Way." Roll me a deception check.
Hail Hydra.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Hail Hydra. That's a Hail Hydra moment right there.
Because
That's a regular old darn Hail Hydra moment right there.
Cranston hears it. Everybody would hear it, actually.
Classic.
And my eyes
I love it.
turn
As-
into slits.
Your eyes turn into slits. Oh my god! It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's too bad my deception sucks.
I was gonna say Sir Hammond might be ready to finish off Asgrim.
Could use that hero point.
Yeah, I think I might have to hear a point.
Oh my god.
You're like, "Hail Hydra!"
I just want to point out that we didn't tell Rogue the new hero point standards. I just
You
want to
say-
point that out.
Thank
You
you.
say,
So the
Hail
rule,
the Shouting Path.
the rule from here on out regarding hero points is you need to specify beforehand that you're going to utilize it. Now you didn't know that,
yeah.
so feel free to still roll it. I just wanted you to be aware of that for the future.
Okay, cool.
Hail Hydra.
Hail the Shouting Path.
The shouting path.
Yeah, he'll just mess it up. Let's see what's up.
So he will just mess it up.
No, I'm rolling to see what happens. That's a 10.
Versus theirs,
10.
though, they might be shitty. Because they love each other, you know?
So he says it more like
They might be distracted.
"Hail the Whispering Way," and more like as he's looking at the symbol, and he notices it because he's just learned this new information about them all being in with the Whispering Way.
Like,
So he kind of just blurts it out.
you like do the half-assed Heil Hitler instead of the full,
Yeah.
you know, the little,
Move his 3 fingers the wrong way.
exactly. Hail the Whispering Way.
What's wrong?
We could have just ran.
I'm just thinking about how to do this because
Just ran.
the guard rolled a 2.
And he's in love.
and he's blinded by love.
He's distracted. He's like, hotel room.
He's not thinking with his head up here. All right. All right. Not even his head
Wow.
over here.
He will.
All his juices ran into somewhere else.
Okay, as that goes on, what he says is he leans in a whisper that only Rogue can hear. He just says, "Are they with you?"
Asgrim just nods.
He slowly leans back. Who am I to question his ways? And he.
Well, at this point, I feel. I just can't. At this point, I feel that my guy should probably roll a will save to figure out if.
Absolutely.
I was like, I know
Absolutely.
Asgrim better than you. You don't know Asgrim.
Yeah.
You literally just met him 5 minutes
Yeah,
ago.
roll me a will. Yeah, well,
Like,
I
oh no,
like
we're
that.
surrounded. Oh no.
So the DC at this level for level 6 is 22, according to the GM
Oh, I thought it would have
guide.
been against his deception.
I think the reason he was rolling a will save is to ascertain how Cranston would react
How
to this.
mad he is at
because
this
he
whole
doesn't
interaction.
know Asgrim. He doesn't know any like that he might be even trying to deceive him, and that's good on
I'm Rob.
on Rob, and actually hero point Rob, because you're not metaing and you're playing your character, and I really appreciate that, even if it makes things more difficult for everyone else. So
Wrong way. Hang on.
I just
Yeah.
specifically thought like the will save would have been whether or not you believe this lie or not.
I
Sorry.
think this.
Yeah, click on the box as hero points. There will
Yeah.
be no.
Yeah,
questions.
I
Click on
did
the
it
box,
in.
press 2.
I got it.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I
It
got
is
it.
it
Yeah.
is a perception check to look through a lie. It's essentially perception and sense motive have been rolled into the same check. And it wasn't a check that I initiated and said, I want like for you to roll. This is self-imposed by the player based on how he knows his character. So, and am I correct in assuming all of this, Rob?
Yes.
Okay.
And I start cursing in Dwarvish, and I start calling him a dirty, and you can tell that I'm not happy about this. And you see me kind of ramping up my anger toward him.
Asgrim's gonna turn around towards him, and kind of like facing with the guard, at his back, and like his eyes going towards the dwarf, like pat him on the shoulder.
Be cool, man.
Shut the fuck up, man.
I slap his hand. I slap his hand away.
Slap his hand away.
And be like, we're all being cool here.
Bro,
And he's gonna have
down
to
with
go
the
like-
whispering way.
Yes.
All right, let
They're
me see
all
if
with me.
let's
A
see
wink.
let's see if you can actually. You're really angry. That's fair, Cranston. So let's go ahead and roll me a perception check to see if you can see through, if you can see what's going on. We'll just use that DC 22. We'll use that. We'll continue to use that as a DC.
I would think that'd be.
You don't. Despite the fact that he's being obvious as fuck, your anger is just clouding your judgment. You're so frustrated right now, Cranston.
Oh my god.
And
I
I'm
punch
just sitting
him
there.
straight in the stomach.
Say
Straight
again,
in the
Cranston.
stomach.
You punch
I
him in
punch
the stomach?
Straight in the stomach. Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
I haven't seen any of
On
this. I haven't seen
the
this.
near dead guy. Asgrim.
Yeah. It's a non-lethal damage, by the way.
Instant KO. No.
The guard in the middle of it kind of like breaks in and he's like, "You come with me!" And he actually takes the dwarf by the arm and assaulting this man. 2 of us just saw it. Not only that, but we were told to look for a dwarf based on you asking about the woman earlier. Told that apparently she did a good thing by killing the noble. Correct? One of our own?
That is, he wasn't one of your own. He was one of the Whispering Tyrant's bitches.
And what he yells out is, what he actually yells out is, killing our own? That sounds like something the Whispering Tyrant and his lackeys would do. We're taking you in for questioning on that very purpose. And grabs you by the shoulder, the guard, and begins to, like, pull you outside.
Man, Prankster really
Jordan.
wants you guys to fight these guys.
He's playing it the way he has to play it.
I mean, so okay. I would like for you to look at it from my perspective. Okay.
No, I get it.
Rogue has just convinced this man he's part of the Whispering Way. He saw one of his own getting assaulted. And he was yelling in the middle of the station just that earlier that night about how it was a good thing that the noble was killed. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of these counts.
Nope.
That's how it has to be.
Then again, Rob, I 100% appreciate you playing your character because it makes for good.
Oh yeah.
It makes for good drama.
Gotta do what I gotta do.
Absolutely.
Asgrim's gonna try to like save him
punched.
somehow.
What's he gonna
even
do?
after he gets punched. As
How?
they're like dragging Cranston out, they'll be like, "We need him. We need him alive. He has information."
Wow.
Roll me another deception check, but I'm going to give you a +5 because you've already convinced this guy that you're of the Whispering Way. He will get a perception check, though.
Like your deception is +1.
I know, it's horrible.
But now he's got a
Now
+6.
it's +6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same roll as last time. It's the same outcome as last time.
He's just not good at lying, man.
This
This is actually the first time he's really tried it, I think. So it's weird.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
That's a critical success.
Cowabunga it is.
He's like, he actually looks at you and he says, "You roll up your sleeve." Looking
He'll do it.
at Asgrim.
Yeah, he'll do it.
Okay, so yeah, he doesn't see the tattoo, and he's just like, looks at the other guard, says, "You love me, right?" And the other guy's like, "But yes, I don't know. I've all these feelings. I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of working through this. Trust me."
It's also sudden.
Well, what you're
It's
telling me
also
is that the
sudden.
guards' names are Fan and Service.
Sure. Yeah. Trust me. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make a lover's quarrel here. That'll be the first guy trying to convince the second guy. Oh, the second guy's like, I don't see how. I trust you, and this is all moving so fast. I don't know. This is too much right now. This doesn't seem right. We should just continue to look at the other rooms. This is too much. And they're kind of bickering, and this one guy here, he's like, just gives a really long, lingering look at Asgrim, pushes
Cranston.
No, he actually looks at the guard and he says, "You saw this man assault the other one, right?" "Yes. At the very least, he needs to be in the tank for one night." "Okay, that is what we would do." And so they're still going to plan on pulling Cranston away. At least that's what he's able to convince the guard, based on what they personally witnessed.
Yeah. Asgrim nods.
Doesn't sound like it's much, just one night.
Yeah, he slumps to the wall, like very tired. Even just this has taken it out of him, right? So he's like, he nods and he looks over to Hammond and to Maj. And kind of like winks at them, you know what I mean? And I need to rest. One fucking night.
And the guy who's clearly like the agitator guard, we're gonna call him Frank. Frank reaches into his pocket, grabs one silver coin, and he just like pops it towards Hammond, and he says, "You're gonna need that to see the doctor to get yourself cleaned up like all of the other junkies." Smiles at you very curtly. And then they are going to leave with Cranston. Unless somebody does something. I'm not... I'm not trying to force you into a fight. I'm trying to logically think my way through this if I was one of these guards. Especially with all of the things you guys have been saying around town.
I think Maj right now is just like, he is not one of us. If it was one of my friends, I would gladly put myself in the line. But
He just punched one of your friends.
why should I, for an outsider that just punched my noble steed?
One of your
noble
injured friends.
He didn't
He
punch
punched
your nobles.
Asgrim.
He punched Asgrim.
Your replacement steed.
Yeah.
Your backup steed.
Can I close the door behind them as they're leaving, so I can
Sure.
talk to them? All
Yeah.
right. As he closes the door, he looks over to him and he's like, "You knew I was just lying, right?"
Of course, you've been fighting these monsters since we've met.
Okay, because I looked at you and it didn't look like you
I'm sorry.
believed me for a minute.
No, I was. It's been a long day.
He's like, I'm very bad at lying. I can't believe I convinced those two guards. But who was your friend? Your friend? Where did we meet him?
I met him on the way out of our room, as I heard Vanya scream.
Well, we could get him out tomorrow, right? They're not gonna kill him.
He's one of the only true enemies of the Whispering Way in this town besides us. I don't know if he's going to make it through the night.
I say, we just have... What is it you like to say? Faith? We rest? This man was just publicly drug out of this tavern for an assault. He mysteriously dies within the prison. Then that would bring question to the constabulary here. So, if we all rest, we can go see if he is alive in the morning, as well as get Asgrim taken care of. Now I can do my plan to get Vanya stuff.
As they're talking about this, Cranston, I want to give you the opportunity. You're currently being dragged away. Do you do anything, or do you submit to the authorities?
So I didn't see the tattoo, and I didn't see I didn't hear his quiet response. I'm kind of confused as to why they're letting that go on. Getting madder and madder about that as I think about it. I think I'd like to have one more will check on this to see
That's fair.
if
Like, with everything going on, yeah, I think that's good. Do it to it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I
You're too angry.
crumble like a.
The kid, I'll be net 20s.
I'm angry and I can't get past the respect for authority that I have built into me. Although I think this is I don't get it. I don't understand it, but I'm not overcoming the fact that they're an authority.
Got you. So you're submitting to this.
Yes.
Okay.
If I'd gone over that, I would have done something about it, but because I don't know that these guys are Whispering Way. I haven't heard, I didn't see that. I didn't know that. I do know that the head guy is, though, so I don't know.
Oh, man, I love it. It's messy and it's great. All right. So we see, we swip back to, let's go ahead and go back to Blue, who is running along. Now, with your horse, you got the lead. They don't have anything faster than that. You hear horse galloping in the background, Blue, but I imagine, like, on the whole, you're pretty much like loose at this point. Now, it's going to take you time to travel. It's not going to be like you might get here like in the morning, and that, mind you, is going to be after a night of not getting a night of sleep. You tracking? And so I'm going to go ahead and have you roll for me another random encounter just to see if something happens. It is nighttime, so I'm actually going to increase it to a 35. Cool. Cool. Wow. This is
What a lucky number.
Oh,
Yeah. The
That's what I
luckiest.
was like. Hot dish, please don't run out the window. I don't want to split the party into 3 or into 4. Into 4. If they're
Sorry,
arresting one
Hot
of
Dish
them.
is just done with your bullshit. No, he's gonna stay with y'all, but it's just like, yeah. Why do we care about this guy? No offense. No. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Blue, roll me a d10. Okay. Oh, that would be fun. That would also be terrible of me.
I mean, what else am I doing? I have no weapons, I have no nothing, I have no attacks.
But you are on a horse that is very fast.
This would be, you would be very,
Can I roll another nature check to see if I got the horse under control? Like,
Yes, I'd like that actually. That's a good idea. You know what? This makes sense. You do not. That horse is fighting you the entire way, which this actually makes sense. You
Yeah.
maybe hear them receding in the background, like they're pretty much just made peace that you've gotten away. Eventually, the horse bucks you off, kind of go rolling into some desert, or not desert, grass. First off, I'm going to roll 2d6, and you're going to take that much bludgeoning damage from falling off the horse. Did not go in the box, so it doesn't count for whatever reason. Oh, you know what? It's because I'm doing it on top of a character sheet. All right, let's try that again. Good to know for the future. All right, not bad. 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Please add those wounds to your character. You fall off into the grass. Roll me a perception check.
I can't edit that.
Then I'll go ahead and do it for you. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. I was rolling I had you roll that d10 to help me ascertain what type of number of a CR that is coming for you. This is actually just going to be a straight dex check on this. It's not going to be amazingly anything more. You're looking, and ahead you see what appears to be a large snake in the grass. And it looks like it's heading for you after you've rolled off this thing.
Can I hide from it? If I know my pursuers are gone, I can at least stealth away from this thing.
You can absolutely try. I want to give you the opportunity to do that. So you're going to do your best to hide from this thing. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check to do that. Ooh, almost on that. That's still good though. Still a good roll. 29, not bad. What are you looking for to hide in? What are you trying to do? You jumping in the water? You jumping in the deep grass? You looking for a bush? What are you thinking?
Is there a tree?
No, not really. It's pretty just like empty grassland that's kind of going on.
Water.
Water. You're going to jump into the water and they're just trying to hold your breath? Are you slinking into the water or jumping in?
Slinking. If I notice that it's any sudden movements is going to cause it to notice me.
that was real close.
You slink into the water, and this thing actually has a scent, but you're in the water. So it you kind of like slowly make your way into the water and just kind of like let the river take you as quietly as you possibly can. And you see this thing, even from like your weird sense underwater, like it just kind of like pokes its head up, right? And you can see it like flare out its hood as it's kind of like tasting the wind, looking for you. But with that stealth check, you're able to get away. And you continue to just float down this river. God, it's Prison Break. It's amazing. I'm kind of bummed that you're not all together, but you know,
I said we should have ran.
I do like the story that's coming up. I think it's really cool. Okay, Cranston, you let yourself be carted off. You guys are talking. We're back in the room. What are you guys talking about again? You're trying to convince them to not go for him, correct?
I'm trying to be like, we should go to sleep. We should handle everything in the morning.
Yes.
We should get Asgrim to the doctor. We should go get Cranston. We should get the equipment, and then we should go get Vanya.
I agree. Just so everybody knows, I do tell them about the tattoo that I saw. That's what.
Oh, this is, of course, this is why you would say that. You really confused our new friend.
Unfortunately, he doesn't know me.
I'm a very good liar.
You all know my tells very well, you know.
Read you like a book. Secret code.
Just he doesn't. He's a dwarf.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This sounds like what we must do then, guys. I don't like it. I don't see another way. Not. What will we do in the morning? What is your plan? Maj, you have a plan to...
So, in the morning, we'll take Asgrim to the doctor first things first. That way we are all in our prime. Then, when we go to the jail to check in on Cranston, I will do something that will get me into where I need to go and back out. The more details that you know, the more chance that the others will find out. We could have somebody right on the other side of this wall listening right now.
And at that time, Maj's ear kind of points around, trying to listen if there's
His ears
anything going
wiggle.
on.
Cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Jester. He's unstoppable.
Oh my gosh.
He paid for those net 20s. It's a package on Fantasy Grounds.
So you're listening, is what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Listening again and looking around to see if I hear anybody trying to listen in or, you know, trying to figure out what we're up to or doing.
So you are getting up and moving around, or you're just listening?
Maj is probably at this point, because he got up to cast that spell and tried to intimidate the guards. Maj is probably now leaning against the wall near the door because he really wanted to go to bed.
Got you. You do not hear anything. You feel like nobody is listening in from the door. As you kind of get up, kind of turn around, getting ready to go into bed, you do see the briefest glint, what you believe is maybe a human face, on the roof next door. And then you blink and it's gone. The hackles go up on the back of your neck.
Maj at this point is not going to say anything. It is time that we go to bed.
looks over Asgrim's already.
Asgrim's already out. All right, Asgrim's out. Hammond going to sleep. Dirge, you've been kind of quiet. What are you doing? Just agreeing?
I actually kind of want to go and find Vanya because I know she's without any sort of aid. You know, she doesn't even have her dagger on her. I have her dagger.
Okay.
So,
are you gonna wait for everybody to sleep and then sneak off?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna leave a note on underneath the door, like going to help Vanya. Good luck with the angry dwarf who likes to punch people.
Okay. We have the party. I just want to be clear here. The party has split into 4 groups. Vanya is on her own. Cranston has been carted away. Dirge is going off. And then on top of that, you guys are like hanging out. You guys are hanging out, going to sleep, which is perfectly reasonable. I bring this up because I like, this is amazing. I just like, you don't know. I've never been part of a tabletop role playing game like this where people, because I mean, there's always this. Just the
underlying rule of don't split the party.
Yeah, there's always the underlying rule of don't split the party, and that is based on conventional wisdom. And so and it's absolutely like
unconventional.
It's really true because you can absolutely get mobbed and kick your ass, and rightfully so. Like there are terrible things out there. And I'm not saying that there's not terrible things and that I don't have terrible things in plan for you guys, but what I do want to say is like. I appreciate the opportunity to have these like vignettes, because that's not how things actually work, right? You watch Lord of the Rings and you watch all these other fantasy movies or shows, and they're making decisions just like you guys. They're not like, let's stick together because that's the smart thing to do. Yeah. They're making decisions based on who their character is, and they're going with it. And so anyway,
I just feel like you're subtly insulting us, or you're like, you guys made a great decision to not do the smart thing.
I'm not trying. That's not what I'm intending to do.
I know.
I really am applauding the commitment to your characters as opposed to the meta.
Someone should convince him to stay. Someone should knock him out. Don't let him leave.
Dirge thinks so. All right. So in the interest of kind of moving things along, you float downstream, Vanya. The village coming into view by the morning. Cranston, you are carted off to the prison, and they're going to take your weapons and your offensive items and your armor.
I expected that.
Yeah, they're like, we can't let you have these things in jail. And you still submit, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay, you give your things to them, they put them away, and you are essentially, like in your tunic and your clothing. Is there anything you're trying to hide on your person or keep on your person? Just to be clear.
My holy symbol.
Your holy symbol. Okay. You give them, I love how this particular ambience has a bunch of whispering in the background. It's fucking awesome.
Great.
Convince them.
I'm going to be alone in there. Don't take my my god away from me as well.
You wouldn't take a staff from an old man, would you? His walking staff.
I told you to take the wizard's staff.
Make me the diplomacy check.
That I have such a high. You know what?
You didn't call it first. Well. The hero point.
I was going to, but I didn't until I rolled, so it doesn't matter.
I appreciate the commitment to honesty. They will look at you. Let me roll something here privately so you guys can't see it.
It's a pity roll.
Yeah, they look at you and they sneer and they like, we know of your powers. and they snatch it, and they put it with the rest of the things.
This is why you have holy symbol tattoos.
Joke's on you. Like he rips open his chest and it's right there. Oh, shit.
Totally stealing that idea.
Okay. All right, you guys go to sleep. Man, a bunch of things are gonna happen. Bunch of things are gonna happen. Cranston, what are you doing? And then, like, what are you doing in jail?
Meditating, sleeping, trying my best.
Sleeping, trying to meditate, switching between the two. In the dark of night, say like 5 a.m., 4 a.m., just before like the dawn happens, you can hear like the door to the kind of like the corridor of the jails open. I actually drew a picture of kind of the outline somewhere else. I think I drew it on the jail image. That's where I did it, right?
Yep.
Go ahead and get that really quick. Images. By the way, I didn't get to show you this, Bees. I made you a specific image for the drug den where the Knights of Ozen were.
Oh, did you?
An AI generated one, and I didn't get to show it to you because I totally beefed it and forgot. But yeah, so that's kind of what you walked. Yeah, I saw drug den and I was like, oh, I kind of want to show that to him.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna bring you guys back to the fantasy jail image with kind of like a brief outline that I wrote there. Vanya was in that end cell, which has since been kind of reclaimed, and let's go ahead and get you on here. Cranston, you're in the middle cell. They open up in the early morning hours. They open up the doors, and you see 2 guards coming towards your cell, and they say, "We have orders to move you."
Oh, nice playing with you guys.
They open the door, and as Cranston abide.
I'm trying to look up right now. It says that there are only some spells that I have to, that
Sure.
it works with, and I'm trying to figure out which ones I can cast with it or without it. Because I do have a spell list prepared, obviously.
Sure.
So give me.
You're fine. This is a very tense moment. Lots going on. Lots on the line. I 100% understand.
Is there a lot on the line?
I don't
Is
know.
that a hint right there?
I don't know. While he's doing that, let's go ahead back to Dirge. Dirge, you pretty much have no people running after you. You have a horse. Or no, you don't know that you have a horse. Nobody's told you.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go off after her. I know probably what direction she's going.
Yeah.
Rope mentioned the stables, but nobody told him about the
You
horses.
find the clothes that she ripped off. You'd find along the path.
I conveniently steal
Ooh.
one of the horses that was ours anyway. So
Roll me a survival check as you're going to go after her. I also want it on the record that I've had multiple opportunities for a combat this session. So I appreciate you guys playing it the way you have. It's awesome because I'll roll with the punches, whatever the hell we decide to do. Yeah, you find her. I'm giving you a bonus because she had blood on her. She was her clothing is a big thing. So I was actually reducing the DC of the survival check to 20. Yeah, you're able to kind of like pick up, and you know that she's on the way.
she's naked and on the run.
Naked and afraid.
It's like I don't know if I want to find her.
Roll me 3 D100s
D100s.
as you make your way through each hexagon.
1,
Safe.
2,
Safe.
Safe.
safe. You pretty much are able to run unmolested, making your way towards the point that you agreed, which was the supply cache by the you didn't tell her to go to the village, correct? You told her to go to the supply cache by the village, yes?
Yep.
No,
Vanya.
Maj told me to go to the village.
Oh, shoot, Jester's not here to adjudicate this.
I think I had said something about the cash whenever I was like talking to you before you gave me the drugs.
I do remember
Yeah,
that.
but you didn't tell me to run. Maj is the one who gave me the acid and told me to meet him at the village, and he said that in the room, if you remember. He put it on the note that he burned in front of you.
Okay, so the village, and you go to the stash.
He would know.
Well, then I would go to the village then if I knew that.
Yeah, he would know. We would all be in the same room during that conversation.
Okay. Eventually, Vanya pops her, head up. Big breath enters her lungs, and she just kind of floats down the river as quietly and as slowly as she possibly can, with the village eventually popping into view. You see fishing boats lined up against the pier, and on top of that, you can see some people throughout the town, kind of getting up, making their way of things. Vanya, I want you to roll me a perception check. Cool.
Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's had a
makes
rough
sense.
night.
Rough night. It's been terrible.
I was gonna say,
you're probably
she's
all groggy.
She's like, she grabs like, so she comes up to a dock and she like grabs onto a dock and lifts her body half out of the water and just collapses.
Got you. Now, Dirge, you're entirely on foot, and she did have the jump on you. So it makes sense that she definitely makes there before you, especially because for some part of that ride, she had a horse to help travel some of the distance. You hop up and flop up onto the pier. So, guys, I want you to know I'm landing the plane right now. It's unfortunate we haven't gotten really to a chance for combat, but I'm landing the plane because it's getting close to our time to close up shop for the night. Vanya pops open her out of the water, pops up onto a pier, just like drenched with water. This is the inhospitable village that we have talked about before, and a couple people shout that they see somebody, and we see some people running towards her. I imagine she's groggy. I mean, like, maybe she's like looking up at the sun, kind of just like sees the silhouettes of these people, and we see them kind of like approach her, just the silhouettes, as we move towards Cranston. Cranston, you are in the cell. These two people say that you're being relocated. Where are you being, what are you doing?
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to definitely take a, I'm a little suspicious of this, but I'm going to do another will save.
Sure. Pass.
Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is cast Spiritual Weapon, which does not need takes a somatic and a verbal.
Okay.
And get into initiative, I guess.
Okay. So we're gonna that's the scene that we'll leave Cranston on, is these two
You see
people
basically coming up behind one of them, you see
a hammer.
a large hammer. Yes.
Just
With
shows
MC
up.
Hammer's face etched into it. No, just kidding.
I love
And swings down, starts to swing down at them, but that's where the cut is.
You got
Okay.
to pray
Right out.
just to make it today. MC Hammer reference.
So we're gonna come back to that, but yeah, that's the image that we leave on the door opening. A glowing spectral hammer appears behind them. Cranston readying himself to fight.
That's awesome. Look at the hammer. Just shows up behind these guards. We're gonna take you in.
Yeah, I love it. All right. The morning hours come, and your group, the rest three of you, Maj, Hammond, and Asgrim. Early morning hours. What is everybody's... How do I do perception checks when you guys are sleeping? Do you know that rule on that?
Good question on QE. Question.
Because I know it's just passive perception for D&D, right?
And it's like minus 10 or something on one even.
Yeah, I mean, that makes absolute sense.
Perception. Misspelled. Perception. Unconscious rules. -4 to every. Only -4 to perception? Really?
Okay. There we go.
That's a lot in Pathfinder 2e.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with how like DC scale based on your level. That makes sense. All right, so Maj, Hammond, Asgrim. I need all three of you to roll me a perception check at a -4 on this roll.
-4. Perceiving.
14.
Maj, you son of a bitch. That makes sense. It's amazing. All right, Maj, you're already got like this twitchy finger, or you're already kind of like nervous and on edge. And
Like any prey species should be.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hear it. The window cracks open. You're muted.
Is it the window to my room?
So to be clear, are you all three in the same room? Or are you all in different rooms? What's the deal here?
I think Maj and I were staying in the same room together, weren't we?
Yeah, and I think Hammond and Vanya were sharing a room.
After
Makes
that
sense.
night, would we have stayed together, do you think, Ammon? Would you have slept in our room?
Yeah. It's without her there. I don't know if I could have room by myself.
That's fair.
I think that's fair, yeah.
I think that's absolutely fair.
I don't think it's too meta of me. It's a tense evening.
No, I don't think. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that's meta at all.
Yeah.
So Maj, you hear it. What do? They're sleeping still.
Maj will go ahead and... Yep. Maj waking up to the sound of the window being cracked. Cast magic missile.
All right, so
you kill Vanya.
all concurrently, like I imagine, like there's this cinematic montage at the end with all of this happening. We see Dirge making his way to this hostile city.
Following tracks and stuff.
Following tracks,
like
yeah.
Aragorn.
You know what? Yeah, you guys describe it. I think that's more fun. You guys
So,
describe
I'm
to
like,
me.
looking at broken pieces of grass and stuff, and I'm like, and then like where I'm seeing, like you see like the flashback of the night before of her running across.
Oh yeah, I like the
pacing through,
interspersed.
like picking up a piece of grass and blood fresh, throwing it to the side, just going through. I see like a big muddy footprint like right towards the bank of the river where she dove in, and then I see the horse in the distance that's running off that bucked her off, and then
it's like stopped and it's munching up on the hill or something.
Yeah, and I look on its saddle and there's a piece of her fur. So to the side.
You see a giant emperor cobra with a horse shape in the middle of its torso.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh.
I like it. All right.
I see a wet cat like curled up on the side of the riverbank in the far distance.
I don't even know if you get the you're making your way, but I like it. How do you see Vanya in your mind's eye?
Exhausted, wet, naked. She's just been through hell and back, and she's on the deck, and the sun's coming up, and then she's hearing like commotion. Her ears are twitching, her eyes are just like barely open, and she's like, she doesn't even have the strength to get up.
I like it. Cranston, you kind of have described it. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Not really. I think I'm going to wait until next week and we'll see what we can get going.
Awesome.
But I kind of look him square in the eye and say, not today.
Okay, that's a good addition. I like that. And then Maj, the window cracks open. He stands up. Does he say anything, or is it just quiet?
Maj doesn't even stand up. He hears the window crack, and he knows exactly where this sound is coming from. He just quickly casts his magic missile. At the same time, I'm imagining Sir Hammond and Azrim hear the cast of this familiar sound just go off in the room like near the sound of a gunshot to them. As Maj at that point stands up, which I should probably roll damage for that, shouldn't I?
It's all flavor.
Or is it?
Yeah. Well, until next time. I'm sorry. Hammond's asleep the whole time. I've got to.
Yeah,
go.
we're gonna close out on that. Thank you guys. Thank you all of those who've been watching. We're gonna close out our session on that. Thank you guys for playing, and we'll see you next time we play.
Good night, fuck boys.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, John Boy.